Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
Most buildings are normal, but normal is boring. Some buildings have gained popularity mostly because of their weird and interesting features and designs. I, for one, would not get into some of them. They're daunting. Let's get an in-depth look at the weirdest structures ever built. While some are upside down, others are too weird to be true. Number 14. The Montreal Biosphere. Look at the size of this ball. It's gigantic and very sparkly. I'm curious to know what lies inside. This magnificent giant dome was designed by Buckminster Fuller, who is an American architect and inventor. It was made to take part in Expo 67, which happened in Montreal in 1967. The giant biosphere is a ball of steel. The steel fortifies the structure, and the triangular design enables it to withstand any high pressure. This futuristic building resembles an expensive jewel and has been used as a reference point when creating spaceships for the Apollo missions. How cool is that? It was also featured in the TV show Battlestar Galactica in 1978 and 79. It illuminates its city with a bright display of lights. Number 13. Kurzywy Domek. This translates to Crooked Little House in Polish. Don't be fooled, this little house isn't falling apart. It's 43,000 feet and has a functional shopping center, restaurants, offices, and a radio station. The building has no straight lines. It's made up of funny curves and slants. It was built in 2004 by Zitinsky and Zelensky, who are said to have gotten inspiration from illustrations drawn by Jan Marcin and Per Dahlberg. This little house is so charming, it looks like it's dancing. Number 12. Casa do Penedo. This architectural monument with an ancient vibe is located in Portugal. Mostly referred to as the House of Rock, it's built from 4 boulders which are the building's foundation, wall and ceiling. Its construction took 2 years. Originally, it was used as a holiday destination by the owner. This would indeed make for a perfect vacation or staycation. Today, it's a little museum and attracts quite a number of tourists. Inside, you'll find small relics and photos from the Penedo's history. If you plan to visit, please note that there is no electricity. Visit during the day, otherwise you'll be groping in the dark. Number 11. Lotus Temple. This very alluring building is located in Delhi, India. Just look at it. It's like a flower in bloom. It's become a main attraction in the city. You don't have to be religious to visit. Like all Baha'i places of worship, it's open to all. The enchanting marble petals are 27 in number and are arranged in clusters of 3 to form 9 sides. The temple has capacity for 2,500 people, and over the years it's won a good number of architectural awards, all well deserved. In 2001, CNN cited it as the most visited building in the world. Number 10. Atomium. Now this is truly a work of art. A landmark in Brussels, Belgium, this place was originally constructed for the 1958 Brussels World Expo, or Expo 58. Its nice 18-meter diameter stainless steel sphere is connected to resemble a single unit of an iron crystal when magnified 165 billion times. How's that for elevated science? Stairs, escalators and lifts interconnect the 5 habitable spheres that have halls and public spaces. The top sphere has a restaurant which offers a scenic panoramic view of Brussels. Number 9. Kansas City Public Library. With the internet age, are libraries still relevant? The future will see most of them turn into museums. It's a good thing this library has some quirky characteristics. The Kansas City Public Library is a relic from 1873 and has a community bookshelf that was built in 2004 known as the Library District Parking Garage. This is a striking feature, and you'll most definitely notice it if you're passing by Kansas City's downtown. The idea to turn the parking space into a bookshelf was an effort by the community to give a facelift to the building. The book spines are 25 by 9 feet and comprise of 25 titles made of signboard mylar that's laid over concrete panels. Number 8. Habitat 67. This looks like a game a kid would play on a Saturday afternoon. Well, actually, people live here. Habitat 67 is a model community housing complex in the locale of Montreal, Quebec in Canada. The architect Moshe Safdie from Israel was busy trying to finish his master's thesis at McGill University when he conceived this idea. Turns out the initial models of the building were made of Lego bricks. It was built as a pavilion during the Expo 67 World Fair that took place in 1967. It without a doubt stands out as one of the most popular sightings in Montreal and Canada. In 2017 it celebrated its 50th anniversary, and the Canada Post was gracious enough to issue it a commemorative stamp to that effect. Number 7. Nautilus House. Say hello to bioarchitecture. This is a whimsical little shell-shaped house that's in Mexico City. Its designer, Javier Senocian of Arquitectura Organica, drew his inspiration from the work of Frank Lloyd Wright. The name of the house is derived from the shells of the Nautilus cephalopod with the spinal curved concave shapes. The entire structure is created using ferro cement and the frame made of steel then coated by a layer of concrete. The material is a little lighter than brick and is said to be earthquake resistant. This house uses natural light from above as well as from the external wall, which is full of hundreds of small rainbow-coloured stainless glass windows. Number 6. House Attack. The name says it all. This very unusual building in Vienna was a project by Erwin Wurm. For this building, its main construction is the upper construction. The roof of the large building tells of a very captivating story whereby a smaller house fell on the big house from the sky like a UFO. The original house was built in 2006 and once stood as a masterpiece of contemporary art. The architect for sure had a very infectious sense of humour. A lot of work went into strengthening the small house with a red roof, whereby just attaching the two roofs together was a feat. Their outcome was all the same: safe, fun and solid. Sadly, the project no longer exists. Number 5. Cube houses. These little things make me smile. Can I own one for keeps? Also known as the Kubus Woningen, these new age innovative houses were built in Rotterdam and Helmond in the Netherlands. They were designed by Piet Blom and the concept was living as an urban roof. The intricacy of this building is tilting a normal house to 45 degrees to make maximum use of the space inside. The cube house is then rested upon a hexagon-shaped pylon. The analogy here is that each house represents a tree and that all the houses make up a cozy little forest. The concept of making better use of space is fully utilized in this design, which has been replicated all over the world. Number 4. Eden Project. A man-made Garden of Eden. In Conway, England, this has to be one of the most thoughtful environmental innovations. It's one of a kind. Inside the two biomes, you'll find plants that have been collected from a long list of diverse climates and environments. This is not a regular greenhouse project. It's made of plastic plates fortified by steel frames. The project is located in a reclaimed China clay pit, 2 kilometers from the town of St. Blasi. The two huge enclosures have adjoining domes that are the home for thousands of plant species. Each enclosure emulates a natural biome. The first biome is simulated to represent the conditions of a rainforest, while the second one mirrors the conditions of a Mediterranean environment. There's a botanical garden where some plants live free and serve the wildlife in Cornwall and the UK in general. Additionally, there's a geothermal electrical plant. Number 3. Atlantis the Palm, Dubai. This luxurious hotel resort is what you need for a holiday away from home. It's somewhere at the apex of the Palm Jumeirah in the UAE. There are 1,539 rooms in the two towers, which are connected by the Royal Bridge Suite, where you can spend up to $23,000 a night. It was the very first resort to be built on the island, and it's linked to the myth of Atlantis with a touch of distinct Arabian elements. During its opening in 2008, a light show of moving images illuminated the hotel for almost 15 minutes. Custom-made shells shipped from across the globe create an interesting spectacle that can be seen across the island. The fireworks display is on another level and claims that it has set a world record. This is, however, pending confirmation from the Guinness World Book of Records. Before it opened its doors, the resort received a shipment of 28 dolphins from Solomon Island. At a time when there was a ban against shipping dolphins, they received a bit of a backlash from environmental groups. Number 2. Wonderworks. Let your imagination run wild. That's the slogan for the company that came up with this place. This is an entertainment center with a science theme across its 5 locations in the United States. The buildings are built in such a way that they're upside down. The whole experience is a nice blend of education and entertainment. The numerous exhibits are mind-boggling. There are dinner magic shows and a 4D motion theatre. The long list of activities inspires the guests to explore. The unique upside-down design was brought to life by architect Terry O'Nicholson. Apparently, it's inspired by the story of a nutty professor who had his lab in the Bermuda Triangle. The lab was hit by a tornado and the buildings scattered all over. All the locations offer laser tag and multi-story ropes courses. The Myrtle Beach location has a zip line. In total, the locations are in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Panama City Beach, Florida, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Syracuse, Branson, Missouri, and New York. The Wonder Zone is a dream come true for any child and the young at heart. It has the natural disasters, physical challenges, light and sound, space and discovery, and the Imaginations Lab. Wow! Would you live in these interesting spaces? Look at this building, for instance. It seems to be doing a somersault in the middle of traffic with no care in the world. Some of these other tall buildings seem to have an element of wanting to see the world from an unusual perspective. And number 1, it's the reversible Destiny Lofts. This loft looks like a page out of a kid's magazine. What would you do with all that colour? This is an apartment loft in Tokyo. It's not boring in any way, and the design has a variation of cubes, spheres and tubes. There's a circular kitchen at the centre of each apartment, and next to it a vertical pole which residents use to move within the space. There are also ceiling hooks for lighting and storage. The project was inspired by Helen Keller, and the main theme was to stimulate the senses. The designers Arakawa and Jins dedicated the project to her as an example of reversible destiny. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch up my next video.